Tell you a real story of narcissistic abuse and a cycle that I never thought that I would be able to get out of.
Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about women sharing their worst experience with narcissistic partners. So you guys have put the videos together so that you watch and learn. I'll be back to share my true sense.
Tell you a real story of narcissistic abuse and a cycle that I never thought that I would be able to get out of. So one day, my partner and I'm gonna, say it like that. My partner and I ran home really quick to grab something. Because this person was yelling at me on the way and telling me, how could I forget this? How could I be so clumsy? How could I be so dumb? And the baby was getting fussy in the back seat. I ran in as quickly as I possibly could. Okay. I mean, as quickly as I could, but I didn't shut the door. Pulled into the garage. I did not shut the door. Okay. So I kind of just ran out thinking that he was going to stay in the garage. And I went inside, I grabbed it. I was maybe in there a minute at most. And then I grabbed a sweater for the baby because we were going to be out longer. And all of a sudden I heard a crash sound. I go outside and I see that he tried pulling out quickly and his door flung open and it got stuck onto the garage door. Now, can you imagine the situation? The anger, I can't believe you. How could you do this? How could you be so dumb? Who does not know how to shut a door properly? Me, frantic. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The baby screaming in the back seat. My heart beating so incredibly fast. And I was just in shock and just hated myself at that moment. A common mistake. It was a mistake. But at that moment, all I could think of is, how can I fix this? I called every single mechanic you could think of. And I finally got somebody to go out there. I was shaking by the time this person got there. Okay, shaking, getting an estimate, saying, I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about anything. You can use my car. Everything's going to be fine. Okay. It all got fixed. Everything was fine. But for the days that followed were some of the worst days, because the entire time was, how could you be so stupid? What is wrong with you? That is my car. How could you do that? And all I did was apologize and try and walk on eggshells and pretty much just cry all day, every single day. And it was a mistake. It was a simple mistake. And this is what I'm talking about. When you're in a narcissistic relationship, you are not yourself. You are constantly in panic and you are constantly in a rush that you're not even thinking straight. You're not anything. You're not even there. And on top of it, if you do make any type of simple, harmless human mistakes, it's like the end of the world. And that's what you live like every single day.
This is the first red flag that I got from my narcissistic ex-husband when we first got married. So if you've been following me for a while or you know anything really about narcissists, is that they are master manipulators. So stuff like this that happened in our marriage, from literally the story that I'm about to tell that happened on our honeymoon, it didn't happen while we were dating. There was obviously little red flags here and there that I obviously completely ignored, or was just so love bombed into not seeing them, that when stuff like this happened after we got married, after the paper was signed and everything, I was like, oh crap. So before there's any judgment about, well, you chose this, you chose to marry him, all those people that obviously know what they're talking about, remember that they're master manipulators and they can get anyone to do anything basically. When we got married, there was a flip that was switched. Immediately when we got married, it's like he was like, okay, now you are trapped. Now I can do what I want. And this is the first thing that happened. So we were on our honeymoon. We went on a cruise for our honeymoon. And I had been on a couple cruises before. He had not. It was the day that we were getting off the boat because we landed in Mexico. So, okay, yeah, let's get off the boat. Let's go. Number one, we didn't have a good amount of time. We didn't have all day. If you've ever been on a cruise, you know that there's a certain time, and if you're not back on the boat at a certain point, then they will leave you. So he is like, I'm on vacation, I want to sleep in. That's fine, but at the same time, we're kind of on a schedule because we also had a thing that we had to go do at a certain time. So I was already a little bit stressed out, and he did use sleep as control so much, where he would get so high, so drunk, that he would sleep until 2 in the afternoon most days. And if I was like, hey, we have somewhere to be, it would immediately be a fight. That's how the day started, is that he was oversleeping and he was already a little bit pissed off at me because I was reminding him that we had plans on our honeymoon. Once again, I can see all of the comments coming in of, oh, you were already nagging him on your honeymoon? No, I was just, reminding him. So everything started before we even got off the boat. There's a certain way that you have to get off the boat. There's an intercom telling you how to do it. There's signs telling you where to go. There's people who have been on cruises before that could tell you how to do it. But you know what? I was like, he seems like he knows where he's going. Let's just follow him. I'm keeping my mouth shut and I'm thinking, I know that we're going the wrong way. I know that we are. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let him do what he wants to do. Because he was already mad at me for waking him up. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let him do his thing. After like 15 minutes of just wandering around, how do we get off this boat? How? But anyway, I tell him, hey, I'm sorry, it's this way. Like, we've got to go this way. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I tell him, like, I've been on a cruise before. I'm listening to the intercom. I'm reading the signs. Like, I'm just trying to help us. I start walking this way, and I touch his arm, not grab his arm. In his version of the story, I grab his arm like this, and I'm like, come on. That's not how that happened. I grabbed, like this, my newlywed husband's arm on our honeymoon, and he reared his arm back, put his hand up at me, and said, I'm the man, you're the woman, you do what I say, I'm not listening to you. Great feeling on your honeymoon. So he stands there like that. I stand there looking at him, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? And no, he doesn't have the courage to hit me. But he does decide to not talk to me for a few hours, probably 3 to 4 hours of our honeymoon. We somehow find our way off the boat. Immediately, I need a drink. I need to go get a drink. I'm like, okay. So we go, and we literally just sit at this restaurant with him drinking beer for like another hour, and he's just not talking to me. So whenever he finally stops the silent treatment, he looks at me and goes, I had a feeling this is how it was gonna be, and I just need to let you know right now how this is gonna work. So I'm like, okay, here we go. What's about to be said? And he goes, well, the Bible does tell us that wives submit to their husbands. And I didn't see a good example of that today. You trying to lead us as if you were the husband off the boat when I clearly had it handled, that's not you submitting. So what we are gonna do is you're gonna submit to me and we're gonna do what I say. You can have your opinions, but final say is from me. Side note, yes, the Bible does say that. The Bible did not say that you can use that to control your wife. Because I can go on a rant about that all day. But he was using this completely out of context to completely control me. And you can see where that got him. A divorce. Just another little side note, any kind of negative comments, because I love them. I love to read them before I block them. So go ahead and comment them if you want, because I love when the men find my videos again and they're like, we know that you were doing something. I want to hear his side of the story. I want to... Go ahead and let us laugh at you. Looking back on that situation now, absolutely I should have been more aware and careful of situations that came up like this, because that was a mild one compared to what would happen to me in the next few years in our marriage. But thankfully, me and my son are gone. Narcissists are master gaslighters, manipulators, everything, to the point where they can trap people for a certain amount of time. And I'm grateful that I got out when I did, because I know that people are currently still in them after 20 years or didn't leave after 30 years. And I'm sorry for anyone who has ever had to deal with a narcissist, parent, relationship, friend, whatever.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. Okay, women sharing their experiences of dating or being in a relationship with narcissistic partners. Ladies, have you ever been in a relationship that felt like a dream at first but quickly turned into a nightmare? One moment you're being showered with love, attention, and promises of forever, and the next you're walking on an eggshell, feeling drained and questioning your own reality. Narcissistic partners have a way of pulling you into their own world only to manipulate, control, and break you down over time. Today, we are going to be diving into the chilling experiences of women who have been in relationship with narcissistic or partners, stories that will make you rethink the red flags and trust your instincts more than ever. One woman shared how her husband um, made her feel like the luckiest person in the world at the start. He was charming, attentive, and made her feel like she was the center of the universe. But as soon as she left her guard down, things changed. Suddenly, he became cold and distant. Every argument was twisted until she found herself apologizing even when she did nothing wrong. Gaslighting became his weapon of choice, denying things he had said, relighting history, and making her question her own memory. Over time, she started believing she was the problem, even though deep down she knew something was off. Another woman recalled how her narcissistic husband controlled every aspect of her life, from what she wore to whom she spoke to. He isolated her from her friends and family, making her feel like he was the only person she could rely on. At first, she thought he was just protective, but soon she realized he was controlling her. Anytime she tried to stand up for herself, he would explode in anger or withdraw his affection, punishing her with silent treatment. The emotional roller coaster left her anxious, exhausted, and unable to trust her. Then there's a story of a woman who married a narcissistic, believing she could fix him. He had moments of vulnerability where he opened up about his childhood trauma and promised to change. She held on to those moments, hoping that the loving man she fought for would return. But every time she forgave him, he found new ways to hurt her, cheating, lying, and making her feel like she wasn't enough. When she finally left, he made her the villain, telling everyone she abandoned him when he needed the most. These stories have a common theme: manipulation, control, and emotional abuse, discussed as love. The second is predictable: love bombing, okay, and the other discard. Many women stay not because they don't see the truth, but because narcissists are masters of keeping them trapped. They make you doubt yourself, making escape feel impossible. But the truth is, you can break free. Healing starts with recognizing the pattern, reclaiming your power, and remembering the real love doesn't feel like a battlefield. If you ever experience a relationship like this, knowing that you're not alone, share your thoughts in the comment section. Have you ever in your life had an narcissistic partners? So I'll share you one story which is going to open your eyes. Okay. So someone was telling me this story. Uh this woman was dating a man and they was in a long distance relationship together. So after being in a long distance, he came to visit. They liked each other, and they started like continuing being in long distance because the man works in this country and the woman stays in another country. And this man comes and say, "I'll do everything for you. I'm going to give you whatsoever you want. I'll pay for your house, you food, everything. I'll even help you to take your children to school because this woman had kids." Then he started doing everything, and the most part, he took this lady on a very expensive house where she's renting. So after some time, he started, a person will show you who truly he is, like actually. So after that, this man started showing her true color. So there's one time they were arguing about the kids going to school because him was saying go stand outside, and the woman was saying no, it's cold outside, like it's been raining. So we're just going to wait to the bus inside. They're going to make the water like watering outside. I'll know that the bus is here. He started insulting this lady, kissing her, and whatsoever. Why are you doing this? Why don't you listen to what I say? And started telling her, "Oh, I'm renting that expensive house for you, so I'm going to take you out of that house so that you should suffer. I'm paying your school fees for the kids. I'm giving you the money which I'm supposed to give for my kids." Imagine that, okay? And this person, it's not like he said these things one time. He has been saying all these things, and the girl was like, when she's anonymous, she said, "I'm sick and tired of this behavior." Okay, and she asked him very important question. Like this girl received a letter she was applying for jobs, and she received an offer letter that she should start working. She screenshotted and sent it to him and was like, no, you don't have to work. You're just supposed to be home and all that. And the girl, the stupid part, and I told her, how can you accept that? Like someone telling you you can't work because maybe they're your husband or whatsoever. Needs to work. Get my point? Because at the end of the day, I don't need my own money as much as he can give me, but at least I need to have my own money. I can't just completely rely on your partner. It's not possible. And this girl let this job not starting. No. And the other thing is um she wants to start a business. He says no, you can't start a business. She can usually do nothing. And this man, the way I just think of the whole situation is he's at this controlling behavior where I just want to be controlling the woman left, right, center because he's the one having the money and he can do whatsoever he want. And they don't say sorry. He don't say sorry for that. You're the one who's supposed to say sorry every time. Okay, when this person does anything wrong. And how can you manage living with this type of people? And she just told me that I'm not going to go forward to get engaged, like they're already engaged. Said I won't go forward to marry this man because he's showed me his true colors, like the way he is, the way he's behaving. What more when we are in the same house? How is he going to behave? Am I going to be allowed to go anywhere? No, I'll be locked inside and you'll be getting my phone whatsoever. So like I just thought you don't have to ignore the red flags. This is a moment where you need to think, is this the right person for me? Am I going to handle this behavior? Because some people they have behaviors which you can't even handle. I tell you. And sometimes you actually think like, is this person really thinking about me? Because some people have anger issues, like they easily get angry and all that. So you need to get something you're going to handle and don't just go for everyone or maybe anyone who is available. Get a person who you know that you're going to live with them and yourself you're going to be happy being around them. Don't just get a person because this is the person who's available at the moment. Because one thing is you need to be happy too. Yourself, you need to be happy being with this person because marriage is a lifetime thing. You have to make sure that you yourself you're healed, you're okay, you can start a relationship with a person and you'll be okay to be married. So get married when you're ready. When you're not ready, don't get married because men are so exhausting. You can't manage to handle them. Yeah. So yeah. So that's a video for today, guys. I'll see you in my next episode. And all I wanna say is thank you so much for the support. And we are almost at 5,000 subscribers. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so excited. So leave a comment for me. Bye bye.